I don't know if I remember how to do this. Ooh. Hi everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Phoebe Gets Baked. I bet you thought you might never hear those words again, but here we are, brand new kitchen, very much glowed up Phoebe.
Lord, I'm having a heart attack. Damn, this is some scurvy shit.
And I am back and excited to bring you some brand new recipes. I'm feeling refreshed, I'm feeling ready. I have decided to do something seasonal, something I know a lot of people love. Pumpkin spice scones. This recipe is not time consuming and it's very doable, so you're gonna like this one. So let's get baking. Wow, it's so weird. I'm back. So first things first, we're gonna preheat our oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's an important distinction. And we are gonna take our baking tray and we are gonna put a piece of parchment paper on it just so nothing sticks. Once that's prepped, we can get to our actual ingredients. Now we're gonna combine our dry ingredients. So first things first, we've got our flour. We are gonna do 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And if you remember, it's important to spoon it into your measuring cup. You don't want to pack it because then your measurements will be off. So we're going to gently spoon it, we're not going to force it in.
That's what she said!
We're going to fill it above, and we take our butter knife and we're just going to level it off. 2 cups. We're doing 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 2.5. I can count to 2.5. Next we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I took the liberty of preparing our pumpkin spice blend already. I will say, you can make your own pumpkin spice blend, but I've got it right here. I'm gonna dump it right in. And that's all our dry ingredients. So we're just gonna take our whisk and make sure it's all combined evenly. And it's gonna be the best smelling flour you've ever smelled. Besides actual flowers, I guess. What do you think of my new kitchen?
I was shocked, honey. I was in tears almost. And it has a white refrigerator. I was like, oh, not a white refrigerator. Girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home, honey. Ooh, Lord.
It's cute. We'll be right back. Okay, our dry ingredients have been set aside. Now in a bit of a smaller bowl, we're gonna combine our wet ingredients. I think I've said this before, but fun fact, you know, sugar kind of qualifies as a wet ingredient? Isn't that crazy? Okay, so we've got 1/3 cup of buttermilk. I've also got 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. Unlike our other dry ingredients, we do want to pack it.
Need help packing?
I could explain the science of that to you, but I don't know. I just know you're supposed to do it. In we go. And finally, our pumpkin puree. So I have already measured out 150 grams of pumpkin puree. Something I like to do, it's a tip I picked up from the internet, is I actually blot pumpkin puree with a paper towel. It gets the moisture out so that the pumpkin doesn't add extra water and sogginess. Much drier. And now we've got our whisk and we're just gonna combine all our ingredients. Our wet ingredients are ready, now we can put them aside. We have 1/2 stick of butter. I put it in the freezer for just a bit, just so it would be extra cold, because the colder your butter is in this recipe, the more flaky and delicious your scones are going to be. So I'm just gonna take our butter, and I'm just gonna cut it like that. That should be good. Now, you're gonna put it into your dry ingredients, and you have to cut it into these dry ingredients. So if you have a pastry cutter, like I do, you'll use that. If you don't, I would recommend 2 butter knives, or you can use your fingertips. Try not to get the palms of your hands really involved in this bowl, because that's gonna warm the butter faster. And we are going to cut the butter into our flour mixture until we've got like pea-sized crumbles. Oh, I should be wearing an apron. Oh well. Doesn't everybody bake in a velvet dress with full face of makeup and pearls? Write in the comments. What do you wear when you bake? Your pearls, right? Your fake pearls. All right, we have our pea-sized crumbs in here. You can kind of see what that looks like. I brought our wet ingredients back. Now we are going to combine these. And once it starts to look like it could come together to form a dough, that's when we're going to turn it out onto a floured workspace. All right, I've got our workspace ready. I'm going to turn out our scone dough, which we're not going to do by hand. We're going to get messy. Messy. Just getting a little flour on here now so I can put it down without it sticking to the table. And you're going to press this down into about like an 8 or 9 inch disc because we're going to cut these into some lovely little triangles. So wash your hands. Don't forget to wash your hands. So I have a bench scraper. You can also use a knife, or I'm using this to measure and cut. So far it's 9 inches uncut, but boy, do I have news for you. It's getting cut. So we've got our 8 pieces cut. They look really good. I'm gonna clean up our workspace, grab my baking sheet, and show you what they look like on the pan. Okay, you thought we were going in the oven. No. First, we are going to take a little bit more of that buttermilk. And if you have a brush, that's gonna be so amazing. But like always, you can always use your fingers, you can use a spoon, you can use a knife. And we are going to just coat these scones in buttermilk. And now that our beautiful scones, our 8 lovely scones, are covered in the buttermilk, they're gonna go in the oven for like 20 to 22 minutes, and you just want them to get like lightly browned. You don't want really dark color on these. Into the oven we go. I bet you thought you were getting a break. Or I was, but no. While our scones are in the oven, we're gonna make a glaze for them. So we've got a small saucepan. I'm gonna add just a tablespoon of butter. And we're doing a 1/4 cup of maple syrup into the pot. Now I'm gonna put the butter and the maple syrup on the stove and turn the heat not too high. I just wanna melt these two things together. Okay, so I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of salt. And finally, the thing that's actually gonna make it a glaze, we have our confectioner's sugar. I'm doing 1/2 cup. And as you can imagine, we're just gonna whisk until it comes together. And just like that, our glaze is ready. It's gonna look a little runny. It's gonna start to thicken as it cools down. All right, so our scones are out of the oven. It smells really amazing in this apartment. I wish you could smell. You can if you bake this at home. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna try it for you now. Hope I don't mess up my lipstick. Well, I haven't had lunch, so I'm gonna get going. Thank you so much for joining me for an all-new episode of Phoebe Gets Baked. If you're excited about me being back and making new episodes, please like, comment, share. I post these on Instagram and on YouTube. Send them to people you know if you think they're gonna like them. Try my recipes. If you do, please tag me. I'm not promising when they're coming, but more episodes are coming. Periodically, maybe once a month, maybe twice a quarter, who knows? But I am coming back and I'm gonna make more for you.
I'm coming back for you, baby. I'm coming back for you.
So thank you so much yet again. Happy fall, everybody. Happy holidays coming up. And thanks for getting baked with me. Fahrenheit, an important distinction. And I have, we're back at it. We're actually doing 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm gonna double check that. Spice mix. I'm sure it's recording. It wouldn't be Phoebe Gets Baked if I didn't paranoidly make sure that we're recording. Ooh. That's going in the bloopers.